Yeah, this.
I can't handle.
All the cranberry juice at once.
I'm gonna, what am I on a plane? Oh, all of a sudden I'm Mr. Fruit Juice.
Mr. Fruit Juice all the way in, full full concentrate.
Yeah, sure.
What's the word there? Yeah,
Yeah,
not diluted.
Yeah, full concentrate.
Full concentrate. I'm sorry. I'm so high up right now.
It's okay. It
My
feels
chair
like
broke.
a power.
It's just that you
movie.
No, I don't mean to.
think you're better than us.
No, I'll do this. I'll slouch.
Yeah, you should.
Just hurt your back
I'll sit on the floor.
for the sake
I don't
of
give a shit about
how
anything.
other people feel.
Yeah, dude.
I
I
wanna
also,
make sure-
I also have this floor pillow underneath my chair. You could just sit on that instead if you want.
If it was a little higher, I would.
Yeah.
The fact that it'd be me too low.
Well,
I think if I just do this, I think it's a little more natural.
Yeah, I
think so.
As long as you don't think that I think that I'm better than any of you.
I think no matter what your posture is, I kind of think that.
No.
I think. What do you think your like presenting height is when you're sitting down? I think you
Oh.
seem taller than you
Than I am.
actually are.
All right. Yeah, I could see that.
If I just saw you sitting down, I'd be like, he's 6'2".
All right. I
Wow.
don't mind that at all.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a.
Yeah, because how tall are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
Not the internet's for. I think I'm an actual clean 6 foot.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That's dude. Because I'm actually 5'11",
okay.
and but the way I said that made it really sound like I'm lying. You know. But being those two heights as a man is like, those are the heights you lie being.
Oh.
Because when you're 5'6", you say you're 5'11",
Uh-huh.
and when you're 5'10", you say you're 6 foot.
Yes.
5'6" to 5'11" is a huge jump.
Listen, bro, especially for them.
Yeah.
I live in fear of the day that some TikTok influencer is going to come up to me on the street and go, "How tall are you?" And I'm going to go 6 foot, which I was, but now that I'm much older, they're going to be like, "Well, then let's measure you." And I'm going to be 5'11" and 3/4, and everyone I've ever known is going to see this video and be like, "I knew he was a liar."
I knew he was a liar, and he owes me money.
And
And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and not
Like,
that
I forgot it until now because when he was over 6 foot,
A tall man can have it.
the tall
A
man.
shorter man
It was a
needs to get it
donation.
back.
Yeah.
Then
and not that life has compressed your spine down or whatever
Gravity
through it
hurts.
being difficult.
No, if a man comes up to me with a shitty mic in their hand, be like, "How tall are you?" I'm gonna say, "I'm gonna fight you." That's how tall I am.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
Right
wow.
away.
I would love to see you,
Yeah.
of all people, be approached by someone who's like, "What do you do for a living?" And you're like, "I'll show you with
I'll
my
show-
fists."
Give me
Line
your
up.
microphone.
Square
Give me
up.
that. I steal
This-
microphones.
That's
my job.
I just eat their microphone really fast. All right.
You start chewing on
And
it.
they get audio.
What are you gonna do about it?
Oh,
I'm gonna take your things. That's what I do for a living because you can't stop me.
someday they are going to ask someone in there and be like, "I steal
I'm
things.
stealer.
I'm a stealer."
Yeah.
And you're like, "You a thief?" I go, "No,
No. That's
That's a higher
an
cl-
offensive term.
Yeah,
actually,
it's offensive to me.
I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler. I just have not the football.
I happen to be from Pittsburgh, and I am one who steals.
I've been to an area near Pittsburgh, and that's mine now.
I stole it.
And I stole it.
Yeah,
I've never been there.
That's what I do. I feel like the two of you have such strong brands that no matter how much time goes by, I like if I see fighting on the internet, I'm like, Diego's getting a DM.
There goes
You
there's
know?
getting a DM
If I
right now.
see an angry white man with a machete online,
Yeah,
Mike's getting a DM.
Okay,
A
yeah,
falling
yeah,
down
dude.
scenario.
That's-
Mike's
yeah.
got a DM.
Dude, anytime it says like lone wolf, it's
like,
I bet
you
Mike's
called?
interested in this. Yeah.
Hello.
I bet this guy's seeking revenge, and
For his being wrong.
and he should have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We agree.
He is correct.
If we were betting, he's not going to get it.
Yeah,
but we
no,
think he should be able
yeah. You
to
could
have it.
you could see it from his angle.
Yes.
You should see his
Yeah,
point
you
of
could-
view.
you could see his point of view is pretty clear. Maybe it's not always 100% correct, but life is a gray area.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, the internet loves when a straight white guy gets on the internet and goes, "Hear it from my perspective."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. You guys haven't thought about it from my point of view.
none of you have thought of it from our perspective. So why don't we wow, you could cut that.
People
out
love
and
it when
just
you start
ruin
to-
my
That's gonna be the
career.
clip.
Yeah.
You could ruin my life with what I
People love it when you start a sentence and you go, "Trust me." Trust me. I know what I'm talking about.
Your Honor, as a white man, I don't
Yeah.
think you're seeing this.
Hey, Your Honor, listen up.
Did you all watch Anatomy of a Fall?
No,
Yes.
I got 30 minutes in
Yeah.
and I keep forgetting to restart it.
Okay, yeah,
I
speaking
got
of
sleepy. It wasn't the movie was bad. I was late.
well, it's just speaking of you're talking about speaking to the court, Your Honor, in that way.
Yeah.
The craziest court scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah,
in
it
my
really-
life.
It
Oh,
really,
really?
it's because it's set wherever the fuck
It's
it
in
is.
France.
In
'Cause
France,
I love
yeah,
court movies. What are the words? What's the term?
court, like a courtroom drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of my favorite movies.
Really?
12 Angry Men, my favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
The Verdict, top 10 movie.
See, but both of these feel. First of all, they're a justice system that you're used to, probably.
Yeah.
I think France does things pretty different.
Absolutely. They're like, how old was she? And they're like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
There's no girl involved. They go,
Yeah, they go.
there could be.
A jury of your peers in France means there has to be one pedophile on the jury.
Legally, that has to
yeah,
happen.
and they go, "Which one of you is a pedophile?" And then all of them go.
And the judge is like,
But all of that was just like, they'd bring up a witness and the defendant would argue with the witness.
Yeah.
The prosecution was just throwing like insults around.
Yeah, like
It was
really
all
condescending.
Really condescending. Nothing bound by fact. All projections where it was just like, okay, so you didn't see her fight with her husband. Doesn't she seem like the type of woman who would fight with her husband?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Your
that's
Honor,
yeah. You're like, that's not
That's
not
crazy.
permissible in court.
Yeah, they're like, Your Honor, doesn't she kind of seem like a bitch?
it truly
To
seems
you?
like the courtroom scene from Idiocracy.
I didn't see that one. Is that the same?
Oh, kind of. Yeah, the one of the lawyers literally goes, "Come on, he talks like he's gay."
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah." You
What-
ever seen Idiocracy?
I haven't seen
Yeah,
it
it's
yet.
crazy.
Buddy, we're living in it.
We're
now.
living it. We're living it. Yeah, it's too
Wow.
late to see it now.
Yeah.
Idiocracy is hilarious though. In 2002, and then you're like, "Oh, okay." But no, I'll finish Anatomy of a Fall if it's if
No,
that
it's
kinda
good.
stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. It's very good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna say this though. I think people care too much about the dog that's in that movie.
Really?
People love that
You
dog.
feel that way about a lot
I
of
feel
animals.
fine about the dog. I don't think the dog was doing anything. He wasn't doing like Homeward Bound style tricks.
Oh,
he wasn't
man.
doing. He wasn't. He didn't have a.
He wasn't
was-
airbutting anything.
He wasn't air butting it. He didn't have a like
Wow.
a barrel around his neck like a Saint Bernard would.
What's in that liquid, by the way? What was that? Whiskey?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was some type of very strong alcohol.
And then
kind of
wake you up?
kind of kickstart your system.
Yeah, because if you're freezing out there,
Yeah, I guess.
you have a little of that. Number one, kickstart your system. Number two, you don't
You don't
realize
feel
it's
much pain.
cold.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're kind of pulling yourself.
It's a lot. It's variety cold brew concentrate.
Ooh.
That's
Feels
I'll
like
keep going.
I mean, any
Oh, no, shit in the
medicine
snow.
any medicine prior to like 1940 was, if they didn't know what it was, they were just like, just take a drink of this
Just take
Yeah.
alcohol.
It was like booze and a rag
Yeah.
and like a
And
stick.
bloodletting.
Yeah,
Dude.
They're like, we're either putting poison in you or we're cutting you to let poison out.
yeah. Here's a stick to bite on and a slug that's gonna suck
Yeah.
some fucking goop out of you, or it's booze.
Yeah, yeah.
Is your baby crying?
Booze
Put
it
some
up.
booze in it.
I disagree with you on the dog.
Okay.
I
you like
think
the dog?
I love the dog, but I
Wow.
feel like it is almost a thing in movies now where it's, in order to like bring out some type of emotional reaction, they're like, what if we hurt an animal? And I'm like,
Yeah.
they did nothing
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
deserve this. They didn't even consent to being in your dumb little art movie.
I think maybe that's it. Where I just I go there's more than enough here for like an emotional reaction.
I agree.
You also know, I'm like, the dog is like not immaterial, but I'm like, yeah. The we have trying to figure out if a woman killed her husband, and then you're like, also the dog is sick. Also, the dog is
You're like,
ill.
well, and for me, I was like, we're supposed to be somehow feeling the gray area that the kid is in, and the
Yeah.
kid's in an impossible spot because his dad has died and he doesn't know if his mom did the crime. But then the kid, I don't want to give too many
Yeah,
spoilers
yeah, yeah.
away, but
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I won't.
and none of this ruins.
None of this ruins the movie, but it's just, yeah, the kid doesn't take good care of the dog, and you're like, I'm supposed to be watching something else, and
Yeah.
now that's all I can think about, and
Yeah, you're like, this has nothing to do with murder
yeah.
Right.
at all. I guess in a way, maybe the kid murdered the dog, but eventually.
There is something to be said about how much a human being, at least an intelligent human being, likes when something is hidden, like a point or a what's the word here? Like a theory, or like in movies, would be like, oh, the dog represents.
It's like
blah,
some
blah.
like
It's
symbolism.
like, just tell me what it is. Why do I have to hide it? But
Yeah.
there is something fun about hiding. Like, I don't know what it is. There's to hide symbolism makes something more beautiful, and I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I agree.
It would be funny if there was a movie and there was like a dog in it, and they're like, and by the way, the dog is love. The dog represents love. They're looking directly into the camera to tell you that.
It's Deadpool. He has to come out and tell her. The only person that can break the fourth wall is Deadpool in every movie. So
Yeah, I mean, and maybe that would help some of these other movies if they just cast Deadpool to come in and summarize the theme.
Okay.
don't even cast him. Just put the technology in the TV, like a picture-in-picture technology. We're like,
yeah.
what is the subtext here? And you press it, and fucking Ryan Reynolds comes out and goes, hey, by the way, both guys gay.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, thank you.
Actually, a whole genre of the internet that is just Deadpool reacting to movies.
Yeah.
Just the split screen
Yeah.
reacts. I would enjoy that. I don't.
I think we could make a by the way, copyright.
Copywriting, we're doing
Copyright.
This
Copyright.
episode's like
By the way,
over
we've
6 months.
copyrighted. The three of us have copyrighted that idea together.
Yeah, that's how copyright works.
You could
Copyright.
really make. I'm gonna mail this SD card to myself.
Yeah, you gotta mail it to yourself.
Oh, yeah. but no, I think that could make a lot of money for really dumb people.
Deadpool reacts videos
Yeah.
is
He's
just crazy.
And everyone be
Dead-
like, "Oh, he curses." Whoa.
He's like Rosebud's the fucking sled. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, got it, yeah. I didn't get the underlying symbolism of Citizen Kane, where they very much tell you exactly that thing.
Wow, that's how you get people into classic cinema. Is
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Deadpool is there.
Fuck, I think we actually came up with a really good idea.
Good thing we copyrighted it.
God,
Yeah,
Oh,
a good idea
man.
that would, if anyone else said it, I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. I fucking hate that idea so much.
Yeah.
It really makes me sick.
Deadpool watching Yee Yee, and you're like, all right, this is 2.5 hours I'll
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah.
Dude, Deadpool commenting on In the Mood for Love.
Yes. Commenting on Breathless. It's just 60s French New Wave.
He's like, it's in black and white. They didn't have color film yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Oh.
a choice, really.
Yeah. I
The thief is trying to steal back his love of his mother.
Childhood and whatnot.
She's American. She doesn't see the depths of humanity yet.
and Ryan Reynolds would do it. He does Mint mobile commercials now. I mean, he's
Yeah,
done
he
it.
owns that.
He owns it.
Yeah, he owns Mint
Wow,
Mobile.
that changes that all
little
of those
bit,
commercials
right?
for me.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really does.
Like, why is he making these fucking ads?
This whole time, I've been like, what? What's happening out there?
Yeah, no, he
if
like
he's
owns-
taking these ads, what chance do I have?
Exactly.
That's how I
But
feel.
he owns the company. Wow, that connected some
You gotta make
dots.
some phone calls.
I gotta make some phone calls.
Hey, I'm sorry about what
Yeah,
I
I
said
gotta
on
take
Thanksgiving.
You're like, hey, Ryan, don't open any of those envelopes that have weird red stains on them. I really.
I misread the situation
Yeah.
pretty bad.
It's
I
like it's like those scenes in a
apologize.
movie where someone shoves a letter underneath a door, and then they're like, "I gotta get back under that door."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's Office Space scenario.
Yeah.
You just burn the building down.
At that point,
What's easier than burning a building down? I can't think of anything. You find out I'm an arsonist.
I can think of anything easier or more enjoyable.
Or more sexually satisfying than burning down a building. Maybe there's people in it. Maybe there isn't. That's none of my business.
Yeah.
That's between God and that building.
but
Hey, listen. I want there to be people in it. That's my stand.
Hey, listen. If I start a little fire with some kindling in the corner and I happen to throw some gas on it, if the rest of the building catches,
That's not my
that's
fault.
not on me.
It's
I
not
didn't
my
mean
fault
to
the
do
building
that.
is weak.
Yeah, that's on the building and its maker. I did my little thing. What happened after that? I'm scot-free.
Did we all not read The Three Little Pigs as a
Yeah.
child?
Yeah.
Bake the
Yes.
building out of brick, it won't burn down.
There you go.
Yeah.
Woofs.
Yeah, that's if you make a building so that I can't bring gas into it,
Ooh.
then I can't get it going in the first place.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
on you.
We should arrest the builder. He should be in
That's
a,
what
a
it is.
subpoena situation. I like the word subpoena. I never get to use it, so I kind of put it in there.
Yeah.
Subpoena.
I think you did well.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hey.
I also, yeah, thank you. I'll
Yeah,
take
Mike
some,
likes to take
Somebody-
I'll
credit.
take some credit for that too.
Somebody at home has been playing a drinking game, which is anytime Diego says subpoena, and after years they go, finally!
Oh, where's that dog
Oh,
with the barrel in
fine.
his neck?
I've been waiting years for this moment.
I knew it was gonna pay off with two shots.
They had a Vegas odds that Diego would eventually say subpoena. It was like plus 97,000.
Someone's lost everything waiting for this moment.
Fuck! Why not make it open ended? Why not make this?
How the hell am I on DraftKings? Who's betting on me on DraftKings?
DraftKings. How about Richard Nixon? That's a pretty good DraftKings.
Oh.
Vietnam War.
Oh yeah, that's
There you
good.
go.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think he was around then.
He was.
Yeah,
Look at that's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
he famously
I said subpoena. I said the right president.
What a day we're
This
having.
is so
Yeah,
sick.
James, thanks for coming on the podcast. It's over.
Hey, we
now.
appreciate James
Yeah,
Hamilton
this
being
was
here.
the final episode
Yeah.
Did you get free tickets to the play?
to the play
Yeah.
to Hamilton.
To Hamilton?
No.
Damn, they should
no.
give everyone with the last
They
name.
should
Because you're
I-
part of his bloodline, technically.
Maybe. Maybe. I feel.
Because of what you like to do to people.
I will say that play ruined my life a bit. Not
Yeah.
actually,
Well,
but it's
yeah,
just
but at least-
for years
James
at
Hamilton's here,
every
everybody.
at every comedy show,
the
the
wrap
host
you
would
in?
make Hamilton jokes
Ugh.
for
Jesus
years, for
Christ.
years and years.
What was
Where they
the
would go,
best
not
joke?
that Hamilton.
Oh,
you know,
God.
it like I can't really remember
Mhm.
a good
Blind Rage is hard
yeah.
to remember.
Yeah, yeah.
It's funny when the host is like, "Hey, you know how you guys like Hamilton? Well, this guy does not do that." And it's like, why are you setting me up to fail?
You're already.
Yes.
I hate having to dig myself out of a hole I didn't create.
100%.
It's so unfair.
Yes.
It's already hard enough. I'm up there. Why are you making it worse?
I'm not funny. So comedy is difficult for me.
It doesn't come naturally, and also I did not prepare.
Yeah, if someone introduces me as you might have seen him on Vice News, which is true, but I feel at a huge deficit because they're like, what unfunny,
Yeah.
probably weed like guy
Yeah.
is this gonna be? And I'm not that.
No.
And
yeah.
so I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like I'm
you're
like fighting
you're funny.
against
Yeah, and you-
like expectations the whole time.
Yeah.
I just don't acknowledge it. You just move on.
yeah. You walk on stage, you go, "You guys ever eaten acid at the rodeo or
And they
whatever?"
just cheer. They're like,
Yeah.
that's what we wanted.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a really good introduction that you liked? One that one like that like.
No.
I've introduced
No.
you. I've introduced you a number of times. That feels a little painful.
I think I probably have too.
I think you guys have introduced. I don't think listen. I don't think you guys have given me bad introductions. I don't think there's a really good way to have it to introduce someone on stage
Oh.
that is not famous. If people are not excited to see me, people happen to see me and then they can enjoy it, but no one's like, "Yes,
Okay.
Mike is here."
I wasn't on board with this take to start, but as we're exploring it,
Yeah,
I guess even if someone goes up and they say something super nice, like let's say they are a famous person,
yeah,
and they go up and they say, "This is one of my favorite people you've never heard of," or "This is a really funny person," or something.
Yeah.
Now the bar is so high,
yeah.
so even a compliment maybe sets you back. Is
I
that where
think-
you're going, or is
I
that?
think. I think also. I didn't think about you guys introducing me.
So now you're trying to.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
but
I remember-
but mostly I feel like at best, an introduction is like good. for me.
Mm.
Where it's like this next guy, like the best you could be is like, "I love this guy, he's funny, whatever." You may have seen him in the corner of your room jacking off or something like that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like I've either had really bad intros or ones that are like the same intro that every comedian gets.
Mhm.
I guess the question would be, like, do we think people even listen to intros? Like in the
I
audience,
think they do.
You do.
I think they do. I think a lot of times they're like half listening.
half
And if you say certain words or something correctly, they'll full listen.
Uh-huh.
Because I can't remember the comedian's name, unfortunately. I don't know why. I don't blanking.
Yeah. Jerry
But
Seinfeld.
Gerald, I call him Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
At Three Diamond Door, I did a show years ago, and he's like, "How do you want me to introduce you?" And I had just done, I did Brendan Ayers' pilot for a Comedy Central web series, and it wasn't gonna get. He told me he's like, "It's not gonna go. They're never gonna post it.
Yeah.
Never gonna show it." And I'm like, "I did a short for Comedy Central that's never gonna air," and I was kind of like saying it jokingly to him, and then he just said that, and it got a good laugh. And
Yeah.
I could feel the room like being on my side immediately because I was coming to them out of a place of like desperation and like sadness. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm trying, nothing's working. So that was like a fun. I'm like, oh, that was like the best intro. And I tried to do it, replicate. I'm like, wonder if I could do it again.
Yeah.
And the other person didn't sell it, didn't really do it well enough, so it didn't work.
Yeah.
But that was one time where I'm like, oh, that was
Okay.
interesting. That worked really well.
I'm thinking very funny comedian also Slade, who was on Vice News. I worked with him at Vice News for a long time. He's such a like decorated kind of documentarian at this point. He's won numerous Emmys, won the Peabody, won James Polk Awards. He's won so many things. And I was doing what'd you say?
You should be in the toilet.
He should be in the it just
It's a tip for me.
he but at one show where someone like said a bunch of those things,
Oh.
he went up and immediately was like, I did win those, but you remember when you used to do group projects as a kid and like your friends would do the hardest part of the, like he turned it into a bit
Oh, good.
about
Yeah.
a group project. And I was like, this is the most charming, best way. I mean,
Yeah.
those accolades probably were impressive to the audience, but then he also used it to like create momentum into
Yeah.
the set, which I think is, how you can use a good intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of times an intro, I think it does go in one ear, out the other, unless you have the buzzwords,
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I think some of these things that like to
Avocado
comedians,
toast. You say, hey.
exactly. Yeah,
Chappelle
those
Rome
hot,
or whatever.
Yeah, hot button issues. Just if you're good at
Holocaust
SEO,
denier.
you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can get people clicking on things online, you're
That's a
going to
good
be
point.
Yeah. You go, this next guy, hashtag comedy, hashtag stand up,
Hashtag reels.
hashtag current
For you
events.
page.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had one time someone asked, they were like, I was doing some dog shit show. And it was like, they're like, what are your credits? And I was like, I don't know, IFC. I had like done something on IFC. And they're like, do you have anything else? And I was like, no, not really. And they're like, just make something up. And I go, okay, so I've been on Animal Planet. And then she goes up and she goes, this next guy's been on Animal Planet, I guess. And I'm like, you told me to make it up. And we both know I'm lying and it's a joke. And then you're burying me
Yeah.
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like most intros I get now are just some guy being like, I need you guys to give me more energy than that.
Yeah.
I'm always walking up to, I need you guys to give me more energy than that. And then being like, and this guy has a podcast, I guess.
Yeah. My favorite, you don't have to tell a story, we told it before, but when Mike got introduced as Mike.
Dude.
Just Mike?
Just
Dude,
Mike.
Just
yeah,
Mike.
I'll go fuck. We were at the fucking Syracuse Funny Bone.
Worst fucking
And
club
the
in world.
sound guy who worked there was fucking sucked. He brought a bunch of girls into the green room before the show, and then we were like, why? Why?
Get him out of here.
And it was just to show them that he could do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
truly.
yeah.
And we were just like, oh, no, actually, you guys can like leave.
Yeah, you're like, that's not what this is.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. And we're not interested in whatever you guys are. I don't know if you guys are selling like Cutco knives or whatever, but then he was like, "Well, I'll intro you," and because I was hosting, and he's like, "What's your name?" I go, "My name is Mike Abruzzi." He goes, "I'm not saying that last name."
No.
Like
Yeah.
immediately, like, yeah, I'm never gonna get that. I'm like, it's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple, and also just get close enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
You could say
He
Mike
just gave up without
He
even
immediately
a clarifying
gave up.
question.
immediately gave up, and then goes, "All right, everyone, please give it up for your host of the night, Mike."
Wow.
And the audience was like,
Complete silence. I walked on stage to.
of course.
And would you guess I bombed with a bad attitude? Would you guess I took it out on the audience?
Yeah.
Like a lot.
who did suck?
Okay.
The audience was bad, but
Yeah.
they might have been okay.
They could have been better if they were prepped for a performance happening.
Last name, for God's sakes.
Wow.
Because they think I'm a guy who goes, I'm comedian Mike.
Yeah, exactly.
They think I'm Mike the comedian.
Yeah, they think that you are bold enough to go one name,
It's the
but not
most-
creative enough to think of anything beyond Mike.
Yeah, not bring a prop on
it couldn't-
stage.
Yeah, you're not even Mike the comedian.
No.
You're just Mike.
I'm just Mike.
Yes.
And not even, I'm like, yeah, I'm just Mike. He's
Yeah,
just
not even
Mike.
that. You're
If
not
it's
even being
just
like-
Mike.
Truly
I'm
just-
Mike. I'm Mike.
Truly,
No.
Dude,
Mike.
I fuck, what was her name? I watched, I was in a hotel room, and I love watching TV in the hotel room. And there was, they're
Quotes
playing,
around that for people who are listening.
like what's on, like me not choosing something. It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Is it Sherry Shepherd or Niecy Nash?
Yeah, Sherry
One- It was Sherry
Shepherd,
Shepherd. It was her show, and they're doing a whole show about comedy over 50, like starting comedy when you're over 50 years old and a woman. And it was these women.
It's
They're talking about how
the Miss Roadblock USA
Yeah, truly.
competition.
and they're talking about how inspiring it is to be bad at comedy. And
Yeah.
Judy Gold is there, and looks like exactly like Howard Stern now. It's like a 1-to-1 for Howard Stern. And this woman's on stage, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do some stand up now." And she introduces a set. I'm gonna show you the set before you leave. By the way,
yeah, let's watch.
I might just clip it into the show. And someone goes on stage, and she's like doing her bits. She's doing a very like road hack, kind of very obvious layer.
Yeah.
But then she like, you're watching, you're like, oh, she's forcing a get her done. She's forcing a catchphrase.
Oh, wow.
Like fucking forcing it into a 5-minute set. And her catchphrase was with price, what is it?
As high
as gas is.
No.
As high as gas
As
is.
high as gas is.
And she's like, men, they take you out to dinner. They buy you these drinks. As high as gas is, you go fill up my tank instead of that. And he was like, yes,
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude.
It's
And you can see I'm just standing in the corner with my notebook, throwing it in the trash can.
and they're loving it.
Yeah, they were going crazy. It was the fact that it's like, she wasn't bad at doing stand up. It was just bad stand up.
Yeah, she was.
It was like I just
awake.
started. Yeah, it's you ever like you're on the road or like anywhere like where you're like, oh, you just did like a comedy class.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is how you write jokes.
I love this. But I don't know why comedians, when they're new, they do this. They'll set up a joke and then pick the mic. Like the microphone is heavy. Like they have to like.
Well, because their premise is so crazy that
Well, they do a lot of this. They do a lot.
Yeah,
moving the mic cord
I
a
did
ton.
a lot. I did a lot of that when I was first starting.
I mean, we all did open mics together.
Oh,
yeah.
And there was nothing like going to a particularly bleak open mic. And by nothing, like, I don't mean in a good way.
It is a completely singular experience.
You would go to a very bleak open mic and you would see someone who is trying stand up for the first or second time. And the first time that a joke that they practiced in the mirror didn't land, to watch that physically happen upon their face.
It's
where
truly
they go,
special.
oh no. I thought I everything from here on was based on getting a laugh in that moment.
Yes.
And you can physically see them panic.
One big bead of sweat starts rolling down their
the size
side
of their face.
Yeah. It's the drop emoji over their face. Dude,
Oh,
yeah.
it's beautiful. I mean, we've all been there.
For
You know
sure.
that feeling.
For sure.
And it is refreshing is not the right word, but it is kind of like, hey, we're also people.
Yeah.
Because you see
This
someone.
is kind of a universal experience in stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Where you're like, the first time you go on stage, you're like, I'm gonna fucking destroy.
Yes.
And you go on stage and you're like,
Yes.
fuck. After my first open mic ever, I'm kind of standing in the back with the comedians. I don't know why I knew to do that, but I did it. And one of the comics was like, "Oh,
Natural.
yeah,
He's a natural.
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
natural.
I was born to talk
do.
shit in the back of the room.
Yeah.
The stage part really, I took a lot of work, but
Yeah.
but talking shit in the back comes naturally to me.
Yeah.
But a guy was like, "Oh, how long you been doing comedy for?" And I go, "Oh, that's my first time ever." He goes, "Oh, you should have said something. We all wouldn't have thought you sucked so bad."
oh
I
wow.
remember me like,
Hell yeah, dude.
"Oh,
That's true, though. That's great.
yeah,
That's kind of honest. That's
it
nice
is
to
a
hear.
little too honest, I'd say.
Oh,
Some
okay.
people go up and they do comedy their first time and they do so well.
Yeah,
And I'm sure part of that is because if you do it for the first time, you probably invite all your friends. But
oh, I
there-
invited all my friends.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all my friends were there.
Yeah, okay.
And I did not. I also it was
They were booing and
they,
they were
did not,
throwing
they
things
didn't
at-
like it.
holding
Also,
you back.
my first open mic ever, my set was 7 minutes long,
That's
which is
nuts.
so long.
Yes.
Here's 7 minutes of completely untested material.
Do you remember your first jokes? Like literally first set jokes? Because I don't.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe.
I thought I would remember. I don't remember. At
I
all.
think because I remember some stuff from like my first year or
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it's
but I don't remember stuff from my. I don't know if I remember stuff from my first set.
I don't remember the actual joke, but I was in New Orleans when I first did stand up.
It's pronounced Nolans.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
God.
It's pronounced like you're having a slur. It's
Yeah.
or like having a stroke
Yeah,
rather,
yeah.
where you're just like
I'm having a slur. I'm gonna hang out back here and have a slur.
And which one do I get? Which one do I get?
Yeah, which one do I have today?
Yeah.
yeah, that's you take a break from work to go outside and have a
Oh,
slur.
I'm gonna go have a slur. I don't smoke anymore. I gotta go say some stuff to get it off my chest.
They should have.
I'm allowed to get one of these breaks,
Yeah.
but the union says
Like
I
a
can't.
smoking section, but a slurring.
I was
section.
thinking it's like those rooms that you can rent and like hit a TV with a bat. There's just one you can just rent a room and go say a slur in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm stone cold sober, but I am slurring my words.
Yeah.
So I had done improv and sketch comedy before I ever did stand up.
Makes a lot of sense.
And so I did this one. Yeah, it does. If you're not a stand-up person, that was essentially a slur. Essentially a slur.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I could tell.
You're doing a bunch of jogging after your fucking joke.
yeah. But I did this show that was like people trying stand-up for the first time, or like people from other artistic things.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of like improv people or musicians or whatever. It was some benefit show, and they were like, "Well, you're funny. You do these other things, so we'll put you last." And I did worse than anybody else. I did so
Awesome.
poorly.
That's so sick.
Everyone went up and they were just kind of like, I think they were like good natured about it. And I
Yeah.
was like, I'm going to do great.
Whoa.
And I think what I remember was, and I don't remember the exact joke, but I remember going up and being like, I'm going to talk about race.
Oh,
And my first set ever.
God.
That's so
5 to 7 minutes.
because it's also you. It's
yeah.
like so out of character for
Yes.
like the type of comedy you do.
Yes, but I also was like, it was aimed in the right direction.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
making
but
fun of like white people and how they speak about race.
Yeah.
But
how
it
they
was
drive opposed
Yeah.
to how black people
Yeah,
drive.
yeah.
But it was just like an intellectual chunk that I was not prepared to chew on.
Yeah, yeah,
particularly in front of all those
yeah,
people, and
yeah.
I just bombed so hard. Everyone else
Awesome.
was like making little cute jokes,
Sure,
and
sure.
the audience was loving it.
And you go up and you're like, what the fuck is up with Polacks?
Yeah,
the fuck's the deal with
Yeah.
those guys?
Yeah.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah. How many people does it take to change a fucking light bulb?
and I, I'm not well, so I was, I bombed, and I was just like, I guess I got to do that for the rest of my life. I
You're
guess
like,
I'll
I have
keep
to
doing
avenge.
it.
I have to avenge my bombing.
The rest of my life is to avenge that.
Yeah. Dude, I bombed at a benefit show once. It wasn't even it was a memorial show. I swear to God, this is like a scene from a movie. It was a memorial show for my cousin who had killed himself.
Oh, wow.
And I did stand up, and it was
Sorry, did they ask you to do stand up?
Yeah, no. I stormed the stage. It was and
had
by
your
that I mean it
microphone?
was his wake.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't want to have anything to say. And I was like, well, dating in New York City is weird.
You guys on these apps? Yeah.
But it was a like a memorial show for my cousin who killed himself, and it went a guy doing spoken word, me doing stand-up comedy, my uncle doing stand-up comedy, and then the Clash cover band.
Wow.
Yeah. So the guy doing spoken word was like very earnest,
So
like he
white
does.
trash talent show.
Dude, it was unbelievable.
Just one of every type of white.
Dude,
right?
yeah. It was so the guy that did spoken word. I don't think you can bomb doing spoken word. Like poetry.
I've seen it happen, but
Yeah.
but in that context, probably not.
Yeah, probably not, because you're doing some kind of a heartfelt thing.
Totally.
And then I'm just doing comedy. I don't know, maybe 3 years into comedy. Like at this point, I was like 3 years into comedy. I was living in the city, and I was like, I thought I was the shit.
Yeah.
And I went up there and just bombed in front of, I would say, my entire family, everyone. And I think that's the last time a lot of them had seen me do comedy. So that's what they think I do still.
Yeah.
And then my uncle goes up and does pretty well.
Wow.
Because he had done, used to do comedy. So he went up there, he did his fucking material.
Yeah.
And he did pretty well.
He did material.
He did material. He did some
Like you
crowd-
all weren't like making jokes, like kind of roast jokes about your cousin
No,
or anything. Of the sort. It
no,
was
I don't
truly-
think so. I think he maybe talked about it a little bit more because they were closer in. So like, he was older than me.
But also, there's the skill in, like, when thinking back, I'm like, oh, when I started, I just said the jokes I'd written.
Yeah.
And now you're better. You're like, I'm talking to you, and then I'll put the
I can-
jokes
yeah,
in.
yeah,
You
yeah,
can
like
meander
that kind
throughout
of-
it. You have that ability.
Yeah, I didn't have that ability at all. And then a band went up, and they just got to be a band.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And I had to eat that bomb so hard.
It's a rough one.
that one.
Bombing in
that
a
one
black
will stick
suit.
with you.
I wanted to be
Yeah.
like, hey, I'll do it too. Hey, by the way, if you don't start treating me right, I'll fucking do it too. Okay? This is not a uniquely him experience. I can do
That's
it
what you should
too.
have done in between the jokes at Bombs. Just I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
I'll fucking do it too.
There's a
I
car.
find-
There's a garage and an empty car I can fucking sit in.
That I find that line would work even better if you just whispered it
Yeah,
in between jokes. I do it too. I'll do it too.
I've got nothing else to live for.
Yeah.
The open
Not a
mic I
bad
used-
idea when you think about it.
He seems like he's kind of right.
I was mad until now, but now I kind of get it.
No, I
now I
understand.
kind of get it.
If treated him this way, I guess he would do it too.
I fucking really see where he was coming from.
The open mic I used to.
Anyway, dating.
Yeah.
You raise your voice back up.
Yeah.
Anyway, I used to work at Subway.
Let's try that one again.
Yeah, let's run this one back.
Oh yes.
The open mic I used to do in the beginning was a mixed mic, black
Black and white.
Anyway, and it was like music and poetry.
Yes, yes.
And this guy went up before me and did spoken word, and it was like everyone clapped at the end. I went up bombing, obviously I'm new, and then like right at the end, I'm like, that was also spoken word, by the way. I'm not bombing.
you said that.
Yeah. I'm
That's
like, I'm
so
not
funny.
bombing, and then I got off stage.
Did that get a laugh?
No.
Or no, because at that point the hole was deep enough. But because that's such a funny line.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing I'm like, I'm gonna be okay at this. I just have to like get good at just being. I was lucky enough that I've gotten good at other stuff. I know the journey. I know what it feels like. It's like you're just bad, and then you're good if you do things right. So I'm like, I just have to take my licks right now.
I will
But
say
it just
that
hurts.
comedy is the first thing I have gotten good at.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That doesn't
I
surprise me.
quit a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
I tried a lot of other stuff. Because I played in bands, but that's like a thing where it's like some other guy wrote the song. I was good enough to play it, but if people were like, I don't like that song, I go like, oh, music's subjective, I guess.
Yeah.
That's his music, whatever. We played so loud that no one could tell if it was good or bad anyway.
You have a hard time when you're not good at something right away.
I really hate it. You should see, dude. I just have you tried to start doing? I guess like I don't know. Have you tried to start doing any other artistic things since you started doing comedy?
Oh, good.
Because I was like the journalism thing, but I'm like that's like
That was a writing.
that's a
like,
writing thing.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like you're already
And we'll
good
talk
at
about
writing.
that, don't you worry.
Yeah. You're
I got
good at
some
writing
problems
and,
with what
and
you've been
stuff
writing.
like that. Yeah. I don't think you've given Donald Trump enough airtime. in a
Oh,
positive light.
that's what this is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't been on the show in a while. I
Oh,
wondered
we're-
if some things had changed.
Yeah,
We're
we're
pivoted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're exclusively on Rumble now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's I guess not, because I grew up playing music as well.
Yeah.
And then the deeper I got into comedy, the less and less I did music.
Yeah.
And so I actually like stopped doing
Yeah.
creative things. And I enjoy, like if I get the opportunity to like someone, I can't think of a situation, but if it's like
Yeah.
somebody else like paints out or
Yeah.
something, I'll be like, this will be fun, but I'm not going to spend time on it.
Dude, like a week ago, I was for some reason I was like, I'm gonna start painting.
That's probably really healthy and fun.
Yeah, except you should see how mad I got when I was not
Okay, so
really
that's
good immediately.
I feel like I should like pick up new creative things.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like the biggest battle for me in my life right now is no longer or trying to overcome perfectionism.
Yes.
Which because that's kind of what you're talking about. It's like if you're starting something new, if you're nice to yourself, you're like, oh, that was fun, huh? And if
Yeah.
perfectionism sounds good, but in your head you're like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is better than you. They
Yeah.
could have painted something the first try way better. You know?
Oh, dude. Yeah. I'm like a thing that I have never been good at, which is drawing or art or anything. I don't know why I was like this. This time is going to be the time where
This-
the divine intervention comes in and clicks, and I'm not good at it.
Unbelievable.
I was so mad.
Cursing in front of an easel is very funny to me.
Dude, I was like, the fucking. Obviously, I didn't buy a big enough thing, and my idea is so big it can't be contained on this small
you blame everything.
canvas. Yeah, obviously, I'm like, no. Actually, this time it is the tool's fault.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the carpenter. It's the tool.
I think about learning a lot. I think about like how to
Yeah.
learn and that's an important part of my life. And I had this theory a couple years ago, which I think I should try to do now because I have more time for it. But I think when you're getting to
Is it
like
called critical race theory?
yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm critical of all of them. Polish people, Hispanics, they gotta go.
Yeah,
there's like two races.
Big two.
Big two. But like, let's say when you're starting to reach a plateau in whatever thing you're learning, I believe that if you jump into something that you're brand new at, that type of whatever brain your whatever like gear your brain clicks into to learn will help the thing you have learned.
I agree.
And it's like I charted the thing. I'm like, okay, first month I'm gonna learn juggling. Second month I'm gonna learn pottery. Third month I'm gonna learn rope tie. Like nothing that would help me necessarily in fighting or in jiu-jitsu, but I think putting your brain in a place of having to be brand new.
Yeah.
Not only will that help the thing you're already learning, I think it will encourage you. If you're not Mike.
Yeah. What I really agree with on this, because you also teach, and I was a teacher, like a school teacher for years, and that's what I was doing when I first started comedy. And I really felt like it was important for me as a teacher to go out and put myself in situations where I was the one who had to be learning, so that I understood what it was like. You know, if I'm asking a kid who's struggling with reading and like to do something that's way out of their comfort zone, it's important for me to go out and try. Like I remember like taking a half day lesson to try to learn how to ski.
Yeah.
And I was just like, my body can't do the things you're asking it to do. And I went back so much more compassionate and thoughtful and even creative in terms of asking people to do things that were outside of their comfort
Once you
zone.
know something, it's easy to forget the discomfort of not knowing. Like the thing that drives me crazy when someone explains something, they're like, yeah, it's not hard. Once you get it, you understand. It's like, yeah, everything works that way. That's such a fucking stupid way of saying. What are you, a moron?
Yes.
Once I learn it, I now know it. That's
You're
crazy.
trying to teach your child how to walk. You go, once you get it, it's super easy. But
it becomes almost like
right
autopilot.
now, it's probably difficult for you because you're like a stupid baby whose joints don't really work. But once you get it and you're like a big grown up,
It's
You'll
so
be fine.
not
You're
helpful.
Yeah.
It's so not helpful that again, as a teacher and not an intelligent person, it just drives me crazy. It's like how difficult that is for people, especially people that are like naturals.
Yes.
They don't do a good job explaining or trying to get the idea across because they didn't have to struggle with it.
Yes.
It just was. It's inherent to them.
That's why, so maybe I don't take up like new creative things necessarily, but I do enjoy like learning new games. I like learning even like card games, anything, board games or whatever. And I don't have one that I'm like obsessed over, but I like doing it because you are like thinking strategically in a different way.
Yeah.
But you also learn the person who's teaching you is either very good at explaining this thing or they are the version that you're talking about, where they're like, you'll see.
Yeah. It's
You'll
like-
get the thing and you're like, I don't know what I've agreed to. I don't know the objective.
Yeah. It drives me crazy because, like, again, how I see myself with what I teach mixed martial arts. When I tell my students, I'm like, I'm just a tour guide. That's all I am. Let me show you these things. Stop resisting my information. But then they like start thinking that way, like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. It's like,
Do you say you're a tour guide because you're like, there isn't actually one right way to do this? That as they get deeper into their journey, they'll kind of figure out what this is to themselves. So is that why you say that, as opposed to like, you're not saying I'm an instructor. You're like, I'm a tour guide.
I'm a tour guide in the way that the information is out. It's not mine. It's over there. I'll take you to it, but you have to look at it. You have to observe it. You have to understand it. But it's open-ended. It can be whatever. The way I do an arm bar is different from some other black belt. Neither of us are wrong. It is an artistic expression. So it's like when I roll with someone, with a student, my job is not to tap them. That's easy. I don't fucking care. My job is to expose them to concepts and moments and go, look, there's a thing here. If you pay attention enough, I'm showing it to you, but they resist because they want to win.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not the goal between the two of us. That's not the conversation. The conversation is you getting the knowledge that I already have. So I guess that's why I see it that way. And I charge them a fee. I charge them all a fee
Also,
to ride the Diego ride.
Yeah.
Let's jump into energy drink corner real quick. Is that cool with everybody? Hey everyone, welcome to the energy drink corner. Mike, introduce it since you got that.
Yeah. I found this at I used to work at a Subway inside of a gas station.
Famously.
In Albany, New York. And I went to that gas station to go see it this weekend. And it was, it's not there anymore. The gas station's still there, but they've walled over where the Subway was. And it's now just like, oh, here's like a hot dog
Oh,
machine.
because of Jared.
Because of Jared. Yeah, they were.
wow.
Yeah, well, I worked
protest.
I worked at the one that Jared owned.
Oh.
So he's actually a close personal friend of mine. So kind of
So kind of like back
be
off
cool.
a little.
Yeah. Be
In high
cool.
school, my best friend's name, one of my best friend's name was Jared, and he started getting a job at Subway.
Yeah.
And his mom had to drop off some money for him for lunch or whatever, or some shit.
Yeah.
But there's 2 Subways in the town, and she went to the wrong one, and she walks in and goes, "Is Jared here?" And the guy's like, "Oh no, he just does the commercials." She's like, "What are you, fucking stupid?" One of my favorite stories of all time. Sorry.
But I was like, okay, because I usually when I'm out of town, I don't get like energy drinks to bring back because I'm flying back. But I just took the Amtrak up there, so I was like, oh
You
great,
bring as many beverages as you want. on the
yeah.
truck.
But then I was like, okay, how many do I want to carry?
7.
One.
Oh, one.
One was
I
right.
thought 7.
But I found Rise Fuels
Woo!
Berry Blast Ring Pop flavor.
Which is interesting because ring pop's not a flavor.
Right.
But Berry Blast is.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Berry Blast Ring Pop.
But just say Berry Blast.
But then you don't. But then you won't buy it because it doesn't have
it's the actual ring pop.
nostalgic flavor exclamation
No,
point.
no. I understand that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying ring pop.
I remember this. I mean, there are multiple flavors of Ring Pop. I will say that I have a lot of experience with Ring Pop, other candies,
like-
That's exactly
etc.
my point.
I like that this actually says nostalgic flavor.
Yeah,
I
it
like that
says-
this is like, are you tired and do you long for a better time in your life? This drink is for you.
Do you need energy because of the passage of time? Well, we got you, brother. Obviously, a man.
100% a man.
Obviously, a man. But let's see. Fuel your greatness. Designed to rise above. Let's see. Sugar-free, natural caffeine, vegan-friendly.
Because
that.
James has been on that show before. James, do you remember? Did we do an energy drink back then? Because
No.
you were on years ago.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
was
you might-
years ago.
You might have been on pre-energy drink corner. which is-
There was no energy drink.
Yeah.
This was,
Oh.
I think the
At
last
Leif's
time I did the
apartment.
show was we were in someone else's
we're in Leif's.
bedroom.
Producer Leif's
Now
bedroom.
we're in
Yeah,
yours.
we're my office.
Yeah, your
Oh,
office.
we've-
Yeah, so
we've-
that's, I mean, think of
Nothing
the
but
tiers.
success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're in Mike's office,
Jesus
but
Christ.
I think I came in between, what now is Energy Drink Corner,
Yeah.
and then Snack Boys.
Uh-huh.
In the very
yes.
beginning, I was like in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a great time for us.
Oh, wow.
Sorry it's been so long.
No.
It's okay.
We wanted to make sure enough things happened in your life.
Yeah, we
yeah.
had to make sure. It
And
was,
we can talk
we
over
wanted to
them.
make sure it was worth it for you to come
Yeah,
back.
I mean, we really covered ground last time. I had nothing left. I had to get out there and live some life.
Yeah.
Because I had no stories left after the last
You
time.
didn't talk for 2 years.
You became a monk.
Yeah, I was at a silent retreat.
Here's what's interesting though. Ring Pop, owned by the Bazooka Corporation.
That's not interesting. It's a candy corporation. If you would have said it's owned by
If you would have
NASA-
said what does Bazooka make, I would say the gum with Archie,
and you're right.
and that's it.
I think what is interesting about that is that I would think Bazooka is just the one thing,
Yeah.
and I think they're kind of hiding that. All of these other, like a Hershey's, is like we make everything.
Yeah.
Bazooka's
Yeah,
like
alright.
we're lurking back here. We don't
Yeah.
want people to know.
Hey, we make the Ring Pop. We also do the Push Pop.
Yeah,
We do
Fun dip?
Fun Dip.
yeah,
Look at how well we were
Yeah.
as friends. He made a gesture.
yeah.
A,
And you-
a soft gesture. I'm like, that's got to be Fun Dip.
yeah. If you all ever played charades, do you have a rule you can't
Thank
be on
you.
the same team?
No, we have to-
play,
should be.
we play that game. You know the game Heads Up.
Yeah,
We dominate.
I
We
bet.
make sure it's like nah, dude. We're fucking Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
Dude, we're together. You
Unbelievable.
cannot break us up.
I hope you all are like hustling people at a bar.
We got
Yeah.
like you're
You
you're
pick
on different
anybody.
sides.
Yeah.
Pick
I'm
anybody.
wearing
Glasses with the tape in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't know this dork.
I'm playing basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
This jock dork.
All those famous Brooklyn bars where people are betting on heads up. That's
Dude, we're not far.
We're
from
not
we're
far
not
from-
far from that.
We got to
yeah.
make it a show, though. We got to go around, travel around, and find best friends and wreck them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right, nothing really. There's no poem on there really, other than it says, "If you are a performance athlete, please check with your sanctioning body prior to use to ensure compliance."
Oh, that's cool. That's smart. You know, like pop for Rise, and we've
So-
done Rise before.
Before I react to this, I'm just clarifying. This is not a sponsor of the show.
No. You can say whatever you want. We insist you curse. That's for you. That's for you. That might come.
It does
how
say
often-
on the top 200 milligrams of caffeine.
That's almost enough. That's fragrant.
200,
Whoa,
200 milligrams of caffeine is a decent start.
It's not a bad. Oh my God! What a smell.
This is crazy. This,
That's a
okay.
crazy
yeah,
smell.
Wow,
Yeah,
that actually, no exaggeration, smells like cough syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Syrup.
Yeah.
Like
I don't-
Robitussin.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of liking it.
You're liking it.
I'm not-
the taste is pretty good.
It's an intense.
It's really
taste.
crazy, but I
Whoa.
kind
It
of.
is.
I'm gonna be honest
Holy
with you.
shit!
It's really intense. I like it. It does have
That's
it does
too
have
much.
nostalgic flavor! Exclamation point.
It does. I am longing for a better time.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, when's recess? Oh, my parents are still married. Oh, yes.
Someone give me a Lunchable. Also, what's 9/11?
I don't. I have never once felt heartbreak.
That's intense.
This is
That is one of the strongest flavors.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like syrup. It
Yeah.
feels
Yes,
like
it feels like syrup.
It feels like I'm sucking out of the bag before it goes into the dispenser machine.
I think what scares me about this, and maybe this is because I'm just old and worrying
Yeah.
now, but I'm just like, this tastes like it's made for a kid. Even though it says nostalgic flavor and it's definitely something from our childhood,
Yeah,
this is candy
yeah,
with so much caffeine.
yeah, and 200 milligrams of choline.
Oh, it got choline in it.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
you're
nice.
set for a couple
That's one of
weeks
the beautiful that's one of the most beautiful micronutrients you could ever get.
I don't know
This
what choline
is
is. What is
nuts.
choline?
Choline is like inside. It's like a mineral that's inside of like meats and like dark leafy greens.
Yeah, we only find it when meteors strike the earth.
Yeah.
Are you drinking energy drinks ever? What's your caffeine intake usually, James?
I'm a coffee guy in the morning.
Mhm.
You know it.
Yeah.
Predictable.
I feel like in your home you have paper cups. Like
Paper cups?
Paper cups, like a bodega coffee shop.
Wow. You're not far off. I don't have that,
Yeah.
but what lit up in my brain as you said that of
I
like,
should
what a
do that.
fun idea.
Yeah, I should do that.
Does support the take.
The little Greek cups.
Sometimes on the road, it's a real affectation, but sometimes I'm like, what on stage? What are we doing if not performing and doing art? I think I'm like, I've never seen anyone look cooler to me as a stand-up comedian than when someone is drinking out of like a paper coffee cup on stage.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes I'll bring them from the hotel room to the comedy club and fill it with
That is
water or
really-
soda and to bring it on stage.
I grew up
Yeah, that's how strong that drink is.
yeah, that's
spiking your insulin.
yeah, my insulin meter was like, whoa, what just happened?
Hey, buddy,
Whoa,
nostalgia
whoa.
is too strong right now. Your nostalgia levels are off the chart.
Yeah, my blood sugar level is 1994. It's like, what is this? What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about my caffeine intake, I guess.
Paper cups and whatnot.
Yeah, so I'm a coffee guy, not really an energy drink guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because you're like you play sports.
I
You
do.
play basketball a
Yeah.
lot. You're not.
Oh well, I was gonna say, as you were talking about bringing like a paper cup onto stage.
Yeah.
For me, growing up watching basketball, dreaming of being in the NBA, what I thought was the coolest thing you could do was how they would hold Gatorade cups.
The paper Gatorade.
They would hold the paper Gatorade cups, but of course their hands are huge.
Yeah.
And so all I ever wanted was just to feel like a cup was that small in my
Yes,
hand.
yes.
And that to me is the pinnacle of cool to this day.
Yeah.
Here's
Oh,
what you have
dude.
to do. You go to a dentist. Listerine cups.
I'm
It's
loving where
exact
this
size.
is going.
That
Yep.
you look like
That's-
Andre the
the
Giant holding a
ratio is
beer.
there.
It's like
Yeah.
the picture of Andre the Giant holding a regular beer
Yeah.
can.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Just walk around with that.
Dude, Andre the Giant jacking me off would break my heart.
They break a lot of things.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's not the
Look,
only
look,
thing.
But yeah, dude, no, those paper Gatorade cups are like truly unbelievable.
Chewing gum with a towel over your head holding a Gatorade cup. That's the coolest man could
that's
ever
the-
look.
Yeah, that's the pinnacle
Yeah, absolutely.
of cool. Yeah. So
But you're not bringing like Are you drinking a coffee before you play basketball, or is that a
No.
recipe for disaster?
that's definitely a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
But as we revealed, I'm also diabetic, so energy drinks tends to boo.
Boo, diabetes as a concept.
So I think the mystery of what is in most energy
Yes.
drinks
Yeah.
makes me be
Hesitant.
like, I can't drink a thing I don't know everything that's in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this one's got pink Himalayan sea salt in it, brother.
Yeah, this one is.
You're doing yourself a favor.
Yeah. This one.
Yeah,
is
because
so
a lot
healing me.
of the ones that we drink and the ones that I drink in my personal time are all artificially sweetened.
Yes.
I don't like to drink the real sugar ones because that's insane.
Uh-huh.
I'm already drinking this much caffeine, and to also have the sugar
To put the sugar
on top of it is bad.
Do
but
you care which of the artificial sweeteners?
I don't. Yeah, I don't like stevia.
Because you can taste it. 'Cause
You can really taste
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah. And I guess that's the one I'm like, I would rather it not be stevia.
Yes.
The other ones I'm like, I don't, aspartame, whatever, I don't really care. This doesn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah.
But I do like, I'm like a Coke Zero over Diet Coke, and I know those are two different artificial sweeteners.
Yeah, I don't know which one is which, but
Yeah.
I know that that's why some people prefer one
Yeah.
versus.
I like because
versus
the
other.
can is black and I'm a guy.
Yeah. It's for the fellas. It's not for lady,
for the-
sexy ladies.
So we rate every energy drink 0 to 5 lightning bolts. 0, you
Okay.
hate it. 5, you like it so much you'll search it out online to purchase.
Oh wow.
So
okay.
you go ahead and give us
So
whatever you
0
think.
is like
Dog shit.
I'm,
gonna throw- I'm
I'm
gonna
mad you
throw
did
up.
this to
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
it's not that.
I'm not coming back on the show because of this.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, how 0 is how could you?
Yeah.
Like that's where it is. How could you do this to me?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah,
we
yeah.
liked each other.
Okay,
Would it help if one of us gave our answers first?
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Wow.
I really don't like it.
Oh, interesting.
That was my exact score.
So strong. I didn't finish my sample. My little
Yeah.
third of it. I didn't. It's
Yeah,
too
don't worry.
strong.
I'll be finishing it. I like it.
Yeah, it's insane.
I think this is going to be the widest margin we've ever had.
Wow.
Wait, how high are you going?
I'm going to go. If I saw. This is interesting to me. I would maybe buy it in the store if I saw it again.
Wow.
I'm going to go 3.75.
Wow.
Wow.
I like it.
Wow.
I also like. We've had a couple of these Rise Fuel ones. I think they're good.
I've liked the other ones we've done. I don't like that
But
one.
they very much are on this like nostalgic thing. Like that's their corner of the market because I think the other one we had was like Sunny Delight. So it's kind of like that thing is like, hey, 90s kids, remember how much energy you used to have?
Yeah.
You can get it again with 200 milligrams of caffeine. But I think if I see this, I think I saw this at a gas station, but I feel like they mostly sell this at like GNC and places
Exactly.
places I don't really go to.
Is there a word for the inverse of nostalgia, like things that you hate about the past? Because I'm gonna make an energy drink that focuses on that.
Yeah.
Anthrax,
Mercury?
Yeah.
Y2K, like bad
Yeah,
things of the
yeah.
2000s.
So I was thinking more in the 2.5
Yeah.
range. I think my
My man.
my take on this would be I would not spend my own money on this,
Yeah.
which means something.
Okay, yeah,
But
yeah.
if
I
we
think
were
that's
on a
I think
road
that means
trip-
sub 3.
If we were on a road trip,
Yeah.
which is why I think I may be above Diego,
Okay.
and you had
Only
that
time
open,
in your life you can say that.
Yeah.
I would say, if you had it open, I'd be like, can I have a little?
yeah, let me
You
get
know,
a little.
like,
Yeah.
So it's not awful,
It's not disgusting. Yeah,
but
yeah,
to
yeah.
me, it is the intensity is the issue.
yeah.
I don't think I'll finish this drink.
Yeah.
I definitely couldn't finish the whole thing. So
Yeah.
I hearing Diego's rating, I'm probably a 2.75. I think I'm
Okay.
slightly above what Diego is saying, but to me a 3 feels like
3
I would consider spending my own money on
yeah,
this, and I'm
you
not
would
there.
not. Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
there.
yeah. No, I think that's perfect. I think that's a perfect. Again, you took a journalist's eye to our rating system.
I had to calibrate.
That's
Yeah.
great.
yeah.
So it's Rise, Ring Pop.
Rise Fuels Ring Pop Berry Blast, 0 sugar.
And again,
Yeah,
if you
man.
ever want to send us any energy drinks, just shoot me a DM.
I will say, I do already kind of have a stomach ache.
Yeah, my head's there's a thing happening up.
I do a little bit of a stomach ache, so I will take that. You know what? I maybe bump it down to 3.5.
Okay.
Okay.
I do have a stomach ache already.
Okay, fair enough.
But I still do like
Each
it.
little rumbly in there is bringing
Yeah.
it down a quarter of a point at a
Yeah,
time.
I just think like if I can't drink a whole can of it without immediately getting a stomach ache, it can't be kissing the fours.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think it is a bold choice on their part to be like, what was a candy that was inedible? And what if we made that into a thing?
Yeah.
What if we gave you the ability to chug it?
Yes.
We made it to 4. You couldn't really eat it, but now we
Yeah,
made
because
it
at
to
least
4.
the ring pop, you had to slow down.
Yeah.
This was like, what if you could have numerous ring pops all at once and you weren't slowed down by having to put it in your mouth and chew it and or
Yeah.
like suck on it?
Sticky fingers.
Yeah, all that. We're done with that.
You know how like there's like a kind of cottage industry of people like intellectualizing everything for like essays and articles and
Yeah.
stuff now. Like what if I now spend time to write like the meditative aspect of the ring pop? You had
Zen in the art of sucking a rim pop.
yeah.
You're saying that, but I guarantee you that there is an audience for that essay.
There is for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And if anyone's going to write it, it's going to be me.
After half of this,
Yeah,
when
Yeah,
your
yeah,
brain
yeah.
starts to do things that you're not.
Yeah.
used to-
I'm lighting up in a way that is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
James, are the Olympics rigged?
What a good question. Well, I mean,
You have the inside scoop now, so I want to
yeah.
know.
So I worked on coverage of the Olympics.
Mhm. You
But
picked
I
the
did not
winner?
work for the Olympics, which is important to note.
Okay, okay.
So I don't
You
actually
work for
know.
NBC?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
I worked
wow.
for
Just like
NBC's, yeah, just like Gerald, your friend Gerald,
What do you
and so I feel like no, the Olympics. My take is the Olympics are not rigged,
All right.
but they are rigged.
I give you money in a bet I lost.
But they are rigged like the rest of the world is rigged in that that deserved a snap.
Yeah,
Mike is not snapping because he's writing his essays.
Yeah,
He's-
no,
he's,
no, no.
but
I'm waiting for my chance to rebut.
yeah. I mean, they're rigged like the rest of the world is rigged, where it's like, are you coming from a situation where you have a ton of money and a ton of like, does your country have like a whole infrastructure for kids who grew up
Yeah.
doing this
Yeah,
thing? So it's
yeah.
like, it's not an even playing field necessarily, which is why it's fun to root for underdogs or
Like
countries
America, the greatest underdog of all time.
of all time.
Yeah, because people hate our freedom.
yeah. That's what it
They
is.
hate us for our freedom too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Don't
true.
forget that.
So I would say
Freedom's like
yes and no.
cold. Okay,
I would say yes and no.
What are can you give me some highlights? What was the most fun moment for you?
Yeah.
Did you get any cool merch?
I did get cool merch.
Yes!
I have cool Olympics hat now. I got a shirt, hoodie,
awesome.
water bottle. I mean, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
You
for
have
sure.
some
Things for the
Olympic
swag.
merch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Because that stuff ages well.
Absolutely, dude.
Like Olympic merch from the 90s, even early 2000s.
Dude, the Izzy Miyake designs. I can't remember what year it was. I looked the whole thing through them.
You had
Yeah, I
an
have
Olympic merch that I
I have
commented on.
a Barcelona. It's like right there. It's like a Barcelona,
Barcelona.
92
Yes.
tote bag.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
It's-
Barcelona. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Barcelona.
That's-
Nolans. Barcelona.
Yeah, we're getting lessons.
It's important, guys. You got to respect these fucking piece of shit countries.
Local linguist Diego Lopez.
So I covered the Paris Olympics from Connecticut, which is where NBC's like sports studios are.
Oh.
So in order to cover like Paris mornings, which is what my show was like doing, our show would go on air at 1 a.m. here.
Whoa.
So I had to be in the studio for a production meeting at 9 p.m. And then our show would go on air at 1 until 9 a.m. And then I would go home and go to sleep in a hotel. So like my experience of the Olympics was very different from everyone else.
Yeah,
Everyone's like,
holy
did you see this
shit.
thing on prime time? And I was like, I will sleep.
I'm a vampire.
Yeah. So it was a
Whoa.
very unique experience, a very cool experience, and it was
And I
very like on the cutting edge of like whatever was happening at any given time. But
I can't believe that whole time you didn't get into energy drinks.
I know,
What a
is
stupid
interesting,
move on
yeah.
your.
I know. So yeah,
Were you like dying? Like, was there like points where you're like, holy shit?
yes, but part of it is just like live TV is like really
exciting.
intense and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah.
exciting. So there's always kind of adrenaline happening. But I also don't think I've been so diligent about my sleep, maybe in all of my like
Sick.
adult
Yeah, it's
life,
huge.
Yeah.
because I was like, if I don't go to sleep by 12:30, like in the day,
Yeah, noon.
I'm gonna be cooked in the middle of the night.
And I need
So
this.
I was getting sleep in a way that I like hadn't otherwise.
Eye mask?
No, but I went full on
No
like curtains, and I was clearly struggling to fix the curtains. And every day I was like trying something different. And then the person who was cleaning my hotel saw this, and one day I came back, and she had fastened the thing to make sure it stayed closed.
That's lovely.
It was amazing. She pieced together what was happening.
Oh, that's
This guy's like
lovely.
working nights. She pieced it all together.
I hope you did something nice and laid down naked for her to walk in on you.
Yeah,
I think that would have been a nice treat for
yeah,
her.
yeah.
I
That's
hope you saw it and you're like, hey, actually, I'm sorry, I don't have cash, but can I get your Venmo? And then you requested money from her. You're like, get the fuck out of my room.
Yeah.
$100 for bothering me.
Fucking pissing me off.
So yeah, that's not like, I had really cool like Olympic experiences, met some Olympians who were
Sick.
there, because the crazy thing about the Olympics particularly is the way that the US covers it, which is above and beyond what any other country does.
Oh,
Like
okay.
so beyond the way that
Goddamn right it is.
Yeah.
we are like invested in every sport.
Yeah.
And so in Connecticut, we're like 30 booths so that all of the sports that were happening could be covered by like announcers and color commentators at the same time.
Whoa.
And everything was on Peacock. So, but if you didn't physically see someone in Paris, they
Shoot
were
ass.
probably in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Just in a little booth, probably staying at the same hotel as me.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I assumed. But
Yeah.
Nice hotel or a fine hotel?
I mean, I was a writer, so not a great
yeah,
one.
yeah.
The talent got the nice one.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
Fine,
it was
good
fine.
enough.
You know, the clearly.
Anything go like massively wrong? You're like, oh my god, we have to fix this now. What was the show? Newsroom?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Scrambling.
I mean, a lot of it is
Just
that.
itself is that.
Yes,
Yeah.
So
but
I assume-
also I was the only person on my team who was on their first Olympics. So everyone else was like real vets, which helped. But there was like there were a few times where, you know, we're using this scripting technology where what you write shows up on the
Teleprompter?
projector.
Oh,
yeah,
projector.
on the teleprompter. Yeah. And,
Yeah, I was doing a good job then.
yeah. And so yeah, there were a few times where like I put the thing in the wrong place. And you know, because this is like the first time that I was doing this, you know, and the anchor's just like up there riffing to get us into a commercial or whatever.
Wow.
It didn't happen in a high stakes thing, but it was like the first couple days or whatever and sorting things out where I was like, I promise I won't happen again, you know.
And the funny thing about that kind of pressure of making mistakes is it makes more mistakes.
Yes.
Like if you let the pressure like make you freak out, it's just gonna make it harder for you to just be relaxed.
Yes.
It's a very intense type of job. Like
People who do it like year round and do it for decades, like there's either something wrong with them or they're just built very differently
Yeah.
than the rest of us.
Yeah.
That they can handle certain things. Because like for me at the end of the Olympics, I was like, oh, I'm tired from these little like rushes of adrenalines all the time. And I would do it again 100%, but it is definitely a very specific type of thing. If we were talking about like, or as I mentioned, like, you know, learning new skills and trying to not be a perfectionist about things, live TV is the best way to get over that because you
don't have a chance.
You don't have a chance. It's going on whether you are like ready or not.
I did in high school. I did mass media class.
Yeah.
And in TV production. And my senior year, I wish I would have thought about it earlier. But in my senior year, I was part of the school's show, like the news show for the school.
Yeah.
And we did a couple projects where we had to direct. We each had a chance to direct a fake game show, and I was really good at it.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the like kind of like a conductor feel of like camera two on player
Totally.
one, camera three ready, camera three go. Like I really enjoy like that was something that I'm like, damn, if I would have found that earlier in high school, I might have tried. And I might have done that.
Yeah.
Cause I really that was like a very like, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like you're really
Totally.
good at this. Kind of like pa.
I'm not surprised by that. I mean, even the way that you were talking about teaching earlier was and calling yourself a tour guide and like thinking about guiding people through something. It's sort of like overseeing
Yeah.
things. But I also think that like, you know, as stand-ups,
Podcasting is very important.
Yeah.
The world needs podcasters.
Yes. But as stand-ups, I think we like often don't think about how many things we're doing at once.
Yeah.
We think we're telling jokes, but we're actually like we're controlling an audience and responding to an audience and we're thinking about their experience and we're, you
What's
know,
worked? What do you have that's not like that? What you should
exactly.
lean on?
Real time
So-
calibrating to
Yeah.
the audience.
so you are directing your own performance at
Yeah.
any given time.
I'm like, look here, look over there, look here again. No, for sure, it's very sick. When you're posting stories and then now seeing you're doing that, I was like, oh fucking, because there's people that in comedy I don't root for.
yeah.
I actively am,
Yeah.
I'm in my head. I'm like, I hope
And I think
nothing
it's
good
interesting
happens
that,
to you.
and I think it's interesting that you host a podcast with one of them.
That's true. But you're one of, I would say, 6 people
Wow.
that anytime I see anything like positive, I'm like, yes.
Wow.
It's our fucking
very
boy.
nice.
That's
Yeah.
I'm so psyched. Anything you get, I'm psyched for because I not only do I think you're a fucking cool person, I think you're also very like genuinely very very funny.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't mean to turn into compliment corner, but anything you do, I'm psyched for, and I'm always rooting for.
And it's mostly because you're white.
He's just He's here because
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. James, thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Yeah, no, thank
We're
you.
ending on that. It's hilarious.
okay.
I'm absolutely ending on that. Thank you for
Okay.
doing the pod again, bud.
Thank you so
Where
much.
Can people
What a
follow you?
treat.
Where can they watch you, come do your stand up, or watch whatever? And your documentary, the things you've worked on.
Yeah. I mean, easiest place is on Instagram at the Jam Ham. That's where I'll post things, and you can find links to like shows that I'm doing or
Genuinely,
documentary.
sincerely follow him. Sincerely follow him.
And that's the best one. I guess I am on TikTok. I'm on TikTok like the rest of us, like most of us are on TikTok. Just
To post clips and
yeah. So Instagram's probably the best place.
The Jam Ham.
Yes, the Jam Ham.
Follow Mike Abruzzi at Mike Abruzzi.
follow Diego Lopez at this Diego Lopez.
Patreon.com/A Little Time Pod for 4 bonus episodes a month, plus a video of all 8 episodes a week before everyone else. We will record another installment of Too Hot to Handle. We got behind. We'll
Yeah.
do that soon.
That's it. Oh, Sunnyvale, California, Fort Worth, Texas, Rosemont, Illinois, DC, possibly Australia. Maybe.
Ooh.
We'll
San
see.
Pellegrino, zero sugar, blood
Yeah.
orange. It's a drink of the summer, folks.
Yeah,
Drink of the summer.
Bottoms up. We love you.
Bye.
Rise
Bye.
Fuel, Berry Blast, Ring Pop.